Bienvenidos a Coffee Break Spanish.
Welcome to the Coffee Break Spanish Show. Yo soy Marc.
Y yo soy Concha. ¿Cómo estás, Marc?
¿Todo bien? ¿Y tú?
Muy bien. Muy contenta de estar aquí otra vez with another episode of the Coffee Break Spanish Show. So, in these weekly episodes, we bring to you a little bit of information of the Spanish language, be it grammar, be it pronunciation, which we'll be focusing on today. Exacto.
And you can subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Or if you're watching our video version, there's a video version, you can subscribe on YouTube to our Coffee Break Spanish channel. And just while I mentioned that there, we've got these fantastic mugs, our Coffee Break Spanish mugs. And you can find them in the link under this video. And if you're watching this, then you can find them in the video. If you're listening, you can go to coffeebreakgiftshop.com.
Eso es. Muy bien.
So you mentioned pronunciation. We're focusing on pronunciation. And one particular aspect of pronunciation, perhaps the most tricky, well, maybe the second most tricky aspect of pronunciation.
Yes, exactly. So we are going to be looking at the sound of the J.
The J en Spanish. Muy bien, muy interesante.
Sí.
Pues, ¿empecemos?
Empezamos.
I guess to begin with, for a non-Spanish speaker, making the sound is the difficult part. How do we make this sound, Concha?
Oh, that's such a good question. Okay, so there are obviously different varieties of the sound that we'll be looking at later, but the main sound that you would hear is a strong sound, is a H type of sound. Yeah. So I want you to imagine a cartoon. When they're laughing in a cartoon, they go like, hee, 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 hee. Yeah, so it's that kind of sound but you bring it a little bit back to your throat. So instead of at the front with your tongue, you bring it back to your tongue. So instead of being hee, 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 it would be hee, hee, hee.
Yeah, so there's breath coming through.
Yes.
But we do something with our tongue to shape that breath. So
yeah,
that kind of...
Exactly. You're kind of pushing your tongue towards the roof of your mouth a little bit. He, like that.
He.
Eso es.
And I've heard this sound really quite strong. Like, I'm thinking of a word like ajo, garlic. Ajo, quite a strong ajo. But I don't think you say it quite as strongly as that.
No, I wouldn't. I would say a little bit softer, like ajo.
Ajo.
Yeah, exactly. So there are different varieties. And in my case, it's because I'm from the south of Spain. And we use that softer sound.
Yeah.
But if you went to Madrid or Barcelona or any other place from Andalucía
upwards,
then it would be jamón, ajo, that sound.
So Annabelle from Madrid, she would say jamón.
Exactamente.
Jamón with a more ch sound. Yep. And I think, to be honest, I think as Scots, we have a little bit of an advantage because we have the sound ch as in loch.
Exacto.
The word loch, like Loch Lomond, Loch Ness.
Yeah.
And it's got that same ch.
Yep. So that you can replicate that sound and put it into the Spanish word and it would be perfect.
And obviously English may not be your native language. You may have that same sound in whatever language you speak. But if you have a similar sound, then you can use that to make a Spanish J. Another way I've heard of making this sound is starting with a k sound, like the letter C, for example, in cat.
Yeah.
And when you start with k, and then just add a little bit more breath into that k,
yeah.
But don't completely close your tongue and the roof of your mouth.
Yeah,
for that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a softer start as well. It's very, so just soften that and add a little bit more breath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's practice it because I think what we should do is hear you talking about these sounds and then we'll repeat them. So we're going to leave some space for our listeners to repeat.
Yeah, perfecto. Vale, so let's start with the word that we just mentioned. Ajo.
Ajo.
Eso es.
So it means garlic. Ajo, very important ingredient in lots of Spanish dishes.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
we love ajo.
Dishes from all around the world.
Exacto. And another word, which is something that we love, is jamón.
Jamón. Jamón. you're definitely saying it a little softer than I'm used to. Now, so I'm trying to emulate your speech, but I think if Annabelle were sitting here, she would be saying jamón.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So for me, it's much more natural to say jamón.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what about in Latin America, for example, in different, obviously, pronunciation is going to vary from country to country, but is there a general rule? Is it softer or stronger?
It's definitely softer.
Okay.
Yes. And this is the same in the Canary Islands, for example. If you go on holiday to Tenerife, for example, then you'll hear that jamón. Softer.
Jamón. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we look at one more?
Yeah. One of my favorite words in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. So this one, Mark's favorite word is majo.
Majo.
Yeah.
Majo. It just means nice.
Yeah.
A decent person. Es muy maja. Esa persona.
Exactamente. Yeah.
Very nice.
And I would say it a bit softer, of course. Majo.
Majo.
Yeah.
Maja. Muy bien.
Muy bien. Okay. So, yeah. So you hear these sounds a lot in a lot of different Spanish names.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Jose.
Jose. Okay. This is just like a verbal workout this time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Jose. What about Juan?
As well. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Eso es. Or Maria Jose in feminine as well.
Maria Jose. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But nowadays, there's a tendency to introduce names that sound not so Spanish, a bit more international, like Jennifer.
Jennifer. So Jennifer, you're using almost a j sound, the same as it would be in English.
Exacto.
There's a slightly more bit of a D in there, isn't there?
Yeah, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
I guess we're trying to replicate the sound, the English sound, but with our
Spanish accent. Yeah.
Exactamente.
Okay.
Sí, Jennifer. So in these new names, we don't really translate the pronunciation. Let's say we wouldn't say Jennifer.
Yeah. Are there other words like that are words, not just names?
Yeah. For example, if you think about the car, the Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguar.
Okay.
We will say Jaguar.
How do you say the animal?
Jaguar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say jaguar, but jaguar.
Exactly.
For the car.
Yeah.
That is completely new to me. I love learning new things. Excellent.
Yeah. And another one would be, for example, DJ.
Yeah. Okay. You're not going to say DJ.
No. Wait. I mean, maybe older people would, but now the tendency is to use the J sound.
DJ.
Yeah.
DJ. Okay.
Yeah. So if we borrow words from English, then we would use the J sound.
Okay.
Well, with our Spanish accent, of course.
Now, Concha, I have one question. I'm heading off to Mexico soon.
Oh.
Quite excited about
Nice.
this. But in Spanish, do we say Mexico or Mexico?
Okay. So actually, you can say both, but the rule says that you should say Mexico.
Mexico. But do we spell it with a G or with an X?
We spell it with an X.
So are all X's? H?
No, not really. There is only two instances.
Okay.
So Mexico and Texas as well. Texas means
Texas. Yeah, right. So you would never say Texas in Spanish?
No, we wouldn't.
So Texas and Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, I say we never, but that is the rule. The rule says that they have to be pronounced with a G sound.
And that is the rule of the RAE.
Yes.
So tell us about the RAE.
Oh, I love it. The RAE is La Real Academia Española, and it's just an organization that collects all the grammar, pronunciation rules, everything related to the Spanish language. Yeah.
Everywhere it's spoken.
Everywhere.
So it's not just, it's about the Spanish language as opposed to Spain Spanish, for example.
Exactly. No. It's about all the countries. Sí. Muy importante.
Okay. So in this episode, we've talked about the J sound, the J sound in Spanish, and we've given you some tips on how to pronounce it. Perhaps you have that sound already in your language, in which case, great. If not, then hopefully our tips have helped you work out how to pronounce it. We looked at it in the middle of words like ajo. We looked at it at the beginning of words like the names like Jaime, Juan, and so on.
Yes.
And we also looked at the letter X,
yes,
which has two pronunciations.
Exacto.
Or two words where it's pronounced as a J as well. You know, there's one thing missing, Concha.
Oh, what is it, Mark?
I think you can guess.
I think I can
guess.
It's
a pronunciation episode. What do we need?
Un trabalenguas.
Un trabalenguas, a little tongue twister for you. So Concha has written something and she's not taught me it yet. So I'm going to listen to this and see if we can work out what it means. So go for it.
Okay, so it's quite long. So let's do bit by bit.
Okay.
But then I want you to try and do it all at once and as quickly as you can. Claro. Okay, so the first bit is Juan y Juanita juegan a juntar juncos.
Okay, Juan
Ujú,
y Juanita
muy bien.
juegan
Ajá,
a juntar juncos.
perfecto.
There's un junco. Is that what you get at the side of a river?
Exactly, that
The
type of
reed.
plant. Ajá.
The reed. Okay. So Juan and Juanita are playing at juntar, like gathering
Eso es.
reeds.
Eso es.
Juan y Juanita juegan a juntar juncos.
Muy bien. Second part.
Ajá.
Junto a la zanja del jardín.
Junto a la zanja
Muy bien.
del jardín.
Eso es.
Okay, so junto, beside,
Ajá.
a la zanja, that's like a ditch.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Del jardín,
Ajá.
of the garden. So junto a la zanja del jardín, or the zanja if you're using South American pronunciation.
As well.
So the whole thing.
So, Juan y Juanita juegan a juntar juncos junto a la zanja del jardín. We're not done.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'll try and say that bit, okay?
Okay.
Juan y Juanita juegan a juntar juncos junto a la zanja del jardín.
Perfecto. Now, bebiendo jugo de jojoba.
So drinking jojoba juice.
Ajá. It's very good for you.
Bebiendo jugo de jojoba.
Muy bien. Y comiendo jamón de Gijón.
Y comiendo jamón de Gijón.
Eso es, muy bien.
Now, Gijón, a city in Spain, that's spelled Gijon with an accent.
Sí. Sí. So that is a little bit of a teaser for our next episode that we're going to be doing, because this sound, even though we are focusing on the J letter, the J, can also be made with a G.
Yeah, but that's for another episode.
Eso es.
So the whole tongue twister.
Okay, I'm going to try because it's hard for me as well. Juan y Juanita juegan a juntar juncos junto a la zanja del jardín, bebiendo jugo de jojoba y comiendo jamón de Gijón.
So Juan and Juanita are playing at gathering reeds next to the ditch in the garden,
Ajá,
drinking jojoba juice
ajá.
and eating ham from Gijón.
Exacto. It sounds a lot easier in English.
And as ever, like most tongue twisters, it doesn't really mean a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the sentence that you're going to be using every day.
No.
Okay, I'll go for it. Juan y Juanita juegan a juntar juncos junto a la zanja del jardín, bebiendo jugo de jojoba y comiendo jamón de Gijón.
Muy bien. Perfecto.
I think we should stop there.
Right, so that was our lesson on the pronunciation of the J. I hope you have enjoyed this little pronunciation challenge. And all these examples and more information, you can see them in the blog article. So make sure to go to the description, because there you'll find the link.
Exacto. And if you'd like more practice with your Spanish, then you can access our free regular email lessons. We send out emails regularly about pronunciation, like jota, with tongue twisters, but also other emails relating to culture, grammar, vocabulary, a whole range of different topics. Just sign up at coffeebreaklanguages.com/Spanish.
Eso es. Pues nada, ya está, Mark.
Eso es todo por hoy. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias a ti.
Gracias a ti. Gracias a vosotros.
A vosotros. Y hasta la próxima.
Happy coffee breaking.
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2024 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2024 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.